Welcome, humans and gentle humans, to San Francisco's third ever Cliterary Salon! It says pause for wild applause on my script. Does that feel wild? Can we make a wild... Yeah! Thank you. I'd like to hand it over to our final reader tonight, Maggie Tokuda-Hall. It's a real pleasure to introduce our final writer to you. Maggie Tokuda-Hall is a 7,000-time shipwreck winner, a nasty luchador and a vengeful spirit. When she's not howling out doom from atop a craggy peak, rising lonesome from a dark and storm-tossed sea, she finds time to summit the two most highly esteemed and dignified genres of word shit: children's books and porn. Without any further ado, I give you the octopus-loving literary prodigy, Maggie Tokuda-Hall.
Books and porn. That's like a really fun way to introduce me. And recently a way that somebody tried to when I was not there. And the person that they were trying to explain my work to misheard what they were saying and was like, she writes children or child pornography? Which is the absolute worst way to hear that. And so I thought, just in case any of you ever need to explain, like, I saw this lady reading and she's so brilliant and her hair was perfect and you should follow all of her work, here's a list of things that she does not write. A loving and sensual biography of Mitch McConnell. Any kind of introduction to any kind of coding. Or fucking child pornography. I'm going to read you guys a story tonight with no child pornography in it at all. It's based on a real thing that happened, and I'm happy to tell you all about it after this reading. And it is called The Roommate. This did not happen to me, to be clear. Before we start. Mary had never been dry humped so much in her whole life. It had only been a week, but her patience was already worn thin. This is what she'd signed up for, after all. But her thighs ached from where Pete rubbed himself against her constantly. Pete was a bottlenose dolphin, a young adult male, and it was her job to teach him how to speak English. "Eh?" Mary said. Pete replied. Mary tried again. "I? Oh?" Pete resumed humping her thighs. He did that a lot. She tried to take his affections as a compliment, but he was a dolphin, and also, no one else was there. If her relationship with Ben hadn't imploded so spectacularly, Mary might not have taken the job. But it had imploded, and the implosion had indeed been spectacular. And so Mary found herself in need of a new apartment and a new job, since Ben had been her boss, as well as her roommate, as well as her lover. An arrangement that now appeared as myopic as hindsight could possibly allow. So when she found a listing for animal trainer, no experience necessary, room and board supplied by the University of the Caribbean, she lunged for it. 3 weeks later, a precariously thin young grad student whose adolescent acne had never cleared led Mary down the ladder that led into the apartment. It was a normal enough space with a bed, a stove, a refrigerator, but it was also filled up to Mary's waist with seawater. The bed was a hammock suspended from the ceiling. The couch was a piece of wood that drifted listlessly from room to room. Pete is pretty middle-of-the-road intelligence-wise, the grad student told her. He spent most of the tour making eye contact with her chest or with the ground, or at least what could be seen of the ground underneath the constantly churning water. A complicated filtration system had been put in place. But of all her specimens, he's the friendliest, so there's that. Mary liked Pete. She liked the way he would float next to her platform so she could pet him. She liked the chipper sounds he made when he was being fed. She liked playing fetch with him and the inflatable beach ball that had been provided. She did not like being constantly humped. "Pete," Mary begged, "please concentrate." Shouted over her. It was less of a conversation than it was just two mammals screeching at each other. Mary pinched the bridge of her nose between her fingers and tried to master her own frustration. He was an animal, after all. She needed to be patient with him. Spending 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a year had seemed, alone with a bottlenose dolphin, had seemed like a good idea at the onset. She liked animals, and she especially liked dolphins. Everyone likes dolphins. Mary had never thought of working with one, but then the opportunity had only just arisen. And now that the question had been asked, she was curious. What would a dolphin say if it could speak? What a story to tell, and she was ready to date again. So she took the job. A variety of coaches had been chosen, from linguists to ESL teachers, animal behaviorists, to laymen like Mary. They would each live in solitude with a dolphin, uninterrupted, for a year, and attempt to build the linguistic bridge where once there had been none. For his lack of English, Pete was a clear communicator about one thing. Stop it! Mary batted him and his boner away from her leg, where a blooming blue bruise was taking shape beneath her wetsuit. She crawled onto the platform under her hammock and did the hard work of pulling the suit off. What the fuck, man, she said to no one, but also to Pete. It's just penis, penis, penis with you all the time! Penis, penis. Pete chittered and dolphined and swam away. When the year was over, the other coaches would ask, how? How had she done it? None of the other coaches responded the way Pete had. And coaches had tried all manner of different tactics. Positive reinforcement, reparenting, forced meditation, deprivation, Pavlovian method, LSD, electroshock therapy, passive-aggressive compliments. What had Mary done so differently, they wanted to know. Pete's English vocabulary, though admittedly limited, would far surpass what any other dolphin could say. It was a miracle. Or something just south of a miracle. For all his strengths, Ben had been lousy in bed. Well, not lousy so much as boring. He learned early in their courtship that Mary liked having her ears kissed, her wrists held. And so he attended to these duties with the precision of an algorithm every single time. And after 3 years, all their sex had blurred into one monotonous memory for Mary. Kiss, fondle, hump. Kiss, fondle, hump. The regularity grated on her. In an effort to spice things up, Mary had bought a sex toy and introduced it brazenly in the act of coitus. What the dick? Ben shouted. He catapulted out of bed, clutching his balls. He was very handsome. Everyone told Mary so, but he wasn't handsome then. Too much? Mary asked. She thought the dildo would be a great addition. She'd even gone to the great lengths to make sure that it was smaller than Ben. A shopping feat that deserved its own accolades. But then they didn't have sex for several months after that. When they did resume, it was back to their regularly scheduled programming. Kiss, fondle, hump. Kiss, fondle, hump. The routine was what Ben liked, and the metronome of their relationship clicked on ahead. It hadn't been a happy union, but it was, for a time, predictable, and so manageable. It was with the memory of sex with Ben in her mind that Mary made her breakthrough with Pete. Males, it seemed, of any species could be easily handled if you're willing to roll up your sleeves, create, and then attend to a routine. Because one thing was for sure, Pete couldn't concentrate on learning when he had a boner. So Mary used hand jobs. When Pete approached her with his tumescent dolphin dick, Mary did what many bored girlfriends, wives, and efficiency-minded prostitutes had done before centuries before her, and gave Pete a good, firm-gripped old-fashioned. Pete quickly learned that communicating politely with Mary meant he got a nice handy, and with such great rewards, he soon proved to be the cooperative and willing student. It was not sexual to her, it was practical. Afterward, Pete could actually concentrate on his vowels. The bruises on her thighs began to recede. Her forearms grew thick and strong. A, Mary said. A, e, he responded. I, e, said Pete. Mary tossed him a mackerel. Within 3 months, Mary and Pete had established a daily rhythm. Eat, handjob, learn. Eat, handjob, learn. And it worked. Ticking along through the days, the weeks, and the months like an immaculately constructed clock. Her method worked, and well. She wondered how the other coaches were doing now and again, but there was no way to know. With only Pete to talk to, Mary had thought she might get lonely, but was pleased to find that she didn't. Pete was good company for a dolphin. And as the months added up to a year, Mary brimmed with satisfaction. She'd done it. It never occurred to Mary to be anything besides proud of her unprecedented success until she did her end-of-year debriefing with the scientist in charge, Dr. Lilly. Lilly was the kind of clean-cut, square-jawed East Coast white guy that had never been susceptible to Mary's charm. Her meeting with him had been brief and intense. "You mean to tell me you stimulated him sexually?" Lilly demanded. Behind him, a grad student unsuccessfully stifled a snicker. Considering that someone else had given a dolphin LSD, Miri was a little surprised to learn that her methods, which had proven to be the most successful, were considered the most inappropriate. He wouldn't concentrate otherwise, sir. And Jesus Christ, she thought, it's not like I fucked him. Lily gave her a look that she could read for what it was. Slut. Tell no one, Lily commanded. She'd be given no credit publicly, that much Lily made absolutely clear. Her name would be struck from the records, no one would know about Miri, nor would they know about her metronomic administration of handies. She'd be in no way associated with the University of the Caribbean, nor its test animals, nor any successes therein. But she'd be paid. Fine, Miri said. Fine. She collected her things from the apartment and gave Pete a hug goodbye. Don't forget me. She gave him a kiss on his rubbery head. At least, she reminded herself, at least thanks to this year, thanks to her time with Pete, she knew exactly what a dolphin would say, even if no one knew her. But soon everyone else knew too. When the news got out that Lily's lab had produced an English-speaking dolphin, Pete's vocabulary did all the talking. With the news cameras rolling and Lily standing proudly next to the tank, Pete recited his vows just as he was supposed to, much to everyone's delight. But then, unbidden, he rolled over, revealing his pink and erect phallus to the cameras. No! Cried Lily. He tried to coerce the reporters to stop, to turn off the cameras, but the cameras kept on rolling. And that night, on the national news, all of America heard the 4 words that Pete had spent the year mastering. Miri!